Good afternoon. Here are the headlines from the Quays newsroom this Tuesday lunchtime. Greater Manchester Police have briefed businesses across the region on the increased threat from international terrorism following Friday's attack in Paris. Crowded venues, including major shopping centres such as the Arndale and Trafford Centre, are on high alert, and extra security has been put in place for the Christmas markets around Albert Square. Assistant Chief Constable Robert Potts said Greater Manchester Police will be working in line with the national response to the terrorism which occurred in Paris. He added, "We can all play a role in making the streets of our city safer by remaining vigilant and informing the police of any activity which arouses suspicion." As people across the world begin to come to terms with Friday's attack, a book of condolence has opened in Manchester Town Hall for those who would like to extend their best wishes to the people of Paris. Manchester's Lord Mayor said, "Our hearts and thoughts go out to all of the families and friends of those murdered." On Sunday, 500 people took part in a candlelit vigil in Piccadilly Gardens in tribute to the 129 lives which were lost on Friday night. We asked people out in Manchester if they feel the city is safe.
Actually, but from what we've been hearing on TV, we all have to be alert. Feel quite safe actually, but from what we've been hearing on TV, we all have to be alert, and you don't know who were the enemies and things like that. That's the top and bottom of it really. But coming into Manchester, it was a little bit worrying really, because we were on the Metrolink coming from Bury, and it had to stop in the Victoria station for quite some time, and they said that there'd been an incident in the centre, so we didn't know at the time, so we were sitting on the train for maybe 5-10 minutes.
Now, in other news, Greater Manchester Police have issued a warning to shoppers ahead of Black Friday. Tesco came under fire last year for failing to prepare for what it says was totally predictable trouble. This year, Tesco will close branches between 10 p.m. and midnight to prepare, with extra staff, barriers and security being put in place. More than 200 jobs are to be created at a new Sainsbury's store opening on Ducie Street in January. Councillor Pat Carney said another supermarket opening reflects that Manchester is the fastest growing city in the UK. The front page of the Manchester Evening News shows a selection of Manchester's 32 most wanted criminals. A £10,000 reward is being offered for information on a man police want to speak to in connection with the murder of Andre Marshall. And Tesco Extra in Stretford has been caught out dumping £4,000 worth of new bikes in a bin rather than giving them to charity. Tesco have denied that the bikes were new and said they only happened in one of their stores. The full story is on page 3. In sport, University of Salford is hosting an event this week to increase gender participation in sport. A study revealed that only 1/5 of the sports team members were women. We spoke to the event's organiser, Stephanie Ellis.
I mean, there's a range of events and it's a great opportunity for us to target not only sport but other women's topical issues. So we're going to have like a night raising money for breast cancer, the Copperfield night, and we've also got a debate night, so to get the women of Salford starting to think about issues not only within sport but places in the boardroom. You've also got things like, should prize money in sport be equal for both sexes? But the main thing is that we want to get girls participating in sport, because at the minute there's a massive gender gap between the males or men and women participating in sport.
Now, Oliver's Gym in Salford has launched a new drive to help bring the community together in the wake of recent criminal activity. The gym specialises in boxing and MMA and has been a popular venue in the city since being saved from closure in 2005. Carl Shidad reports.
Oliver's Gym here in Salford is home to super middleweight Martin Murray, who later this month will be taking on WBO champion Arthur Abraham in Hanover in Germany. But it's not just the likes of Martin Murray that train here. Walk through the doors and you'll find kids of all ages and abilities. You get a real sense of community.
It teaches you to be quite passive, more of a pacifist, because it turns out really that most people who do boxing don't really get into fights because they can take their anger out in boxing sessions.
I used to like football more, but now I like boxing more. People like scared because they think that the boxing managers are strict, but they're only strict when you're not doing what you're told.
Because there's not much else for them to do. There's no more youth clubs like when we were younger, so it's better to keep better that they're in there than on the street.
I started kickboxing at the beginning, and then that closed down. I went back to the gym, and boxing was open, so I just started that and loved it ever since.
And how often do you train?
Well, I train with the pros now because I'm on the elite senior, and I'm reaching GB level now. All my mates are on the streets now, really, and only me who really just carried on boxing, and I'm happy that I have because of looking at where they are now and looking where I'm at, they look up to me, and that's what I like, really, because I'm always motivated to come into the gym, and they look at me thinking, oh, I wish I was like that.
Boxing in Manchester is thriving. Terry Flanagan recently added his name to the ever-growing list of champions from the area. But come to this gym and you find out it's not all about being a future world champion. Oliver's Gym here in Salford really is bringing a community together. This is Cal Sajjad for Quays TV.
Now I'd like to apologise for the technical difficulties we are receiving this afternoon. Now the weather's looking cloudy this afternoon with heavy rain spreading northwards. It's set to become very windy though this evening, so make sure you wear a coat, with further rain before becoming drier later tonight. Now the outlook for the rest of the week is then remaining cloudy with outbreaks of rain. Beginning to feel a little bit colder though towards the end of the weekend with some scattered wintry showers. And finally, before we leave you today, Thursday night saw hundreds of runners descend on Media City in their neon gear to take part in a very special charity race. Emily Murray went to find out more.
I'm here today at Media City on a cold November evening to find out exactly what the Run in the Dark charity race is all about. Also, for some reason, I'm running the 5k race too.
Last Thursday, hundreds of runners put on their reflective gear to run a 5k or 10k race at night in Manchester. One of 50 cities worldwide taking part in the same charity event to raise awareness and money for the Mark Pollock Trust. Mark Pollock lost his sight in 1998 and became an adventure athlete competing in endurance races. In 2010, a fall from a second-storey window damaged his spinal cord, leaving him paralysed. Setting up the trust, Mark is now on a mission to fast-track a cure to paralysis that will cure millions around the world.
Well, I believe the cause is a great cause, and it's a bit of fun as well, you know, in the night and getting all dressed up and everything.
I'm running for Rosendale Hospice. This is my 5th 10k in 8 weeks.
I run the USSU running club at Salford University for Student Union, and there's quite a few students that wanted to run tonight. It's their first run or first race, shall we say, try and get some race bling. So there's a good team of 10 of us running tonight for charity.
We started running
about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And we just...
Once again, we'd like to apologise for the technical difficulties we were receiving on Quays News this afternoon. But that's all from the newsroom this Tuesday lunchtime. From me and the rest of the team, make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. For now though, stay safe and bye-bye.